anime games are better than anime licensed games. And I feel like most people would agree with that statement, because if you look at it, anime games in this situation is pretty much used to describe any game with an anime aesthetic, but it's not actually an anime. So something like Tales of Arise and what's that game on the Switch? Astral Chain, stuff like that. Those would be what I consider anime games. And things of the nature of like Dragon Ball and any kind of like just mainstream anime that just happens to have a game, those are licensed anime games. And for the most part, when it comes to the licensed anime games, they are usually handed to the developers who really don't care that much about video games, in my opinion. Because oftentimes when we get a licensed anime video game, it's subpar at best, and I mean at worst it's really just unplayable. And it's a shame too, because it's really those anime licensed games that a lot of people are really wanting to be good. Because here's the thing with anime games, they can be good, they are oftentimes good, and I enjoy them a lot. But here's the thing, they would be even better if they had a good IP around them that wasn't something that was made on the fly. It's if they already had an established IP and made a good game around that IP, then they will be in business. They will probably have a lot more people wanting to buy their games and stuff like that. But for the most part, they aren't given those games, and I'm not sure why they aren't, because we typically see with anime licensed games the same few studios, especially Spike Chunsoft. They tend to get almost every fucking anime licensed games ever, and just they do the bare minimum to actually make the game functional, in my opinion. But it's at the point now where I feel like just most anime games that come out, you can tell is going to be garbage or trash purely based off of the developer. And most developers of the games are just trash. So it's like, bro, most games in this genre are just not gonna be good for the vast majority of people. I mean, it might have its fans like Jump Force, of course, but at the end of the day, the vast majority of people that play that game really just didn't like it. And that's a drastic contrast to anime games, where for the most part these games are oftentimes even considered for being potential game of the years in some cases. Like, look at something like what was that game, Tales of Arise, I think it was. I think that game was like considered last year for game of the year. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn I seen it in a couple award shows with being talked up as game of the year. So for a game like that, a game that's just pretty much a random anime game from like a franchise that people been following for a while, to just all of a sudden become like good enough to be considered game of the year, is a telltale sign to me that the anime license game industry genre needs to be reworked a little bit. Because at this point it's ridiculous to see that one side of the anime games are great and the other side is just absolutely trash. And at this point I'm really hoping that we can finally maybe potentially start getting some of the anime licenses into actual good developers' hands, and hopefully we can see something better. Because I mean, it's a lot of mediocrity in the anime licensed games genre, and it's just really unfortunate, man, because I really look forward to anime licensed games, because I really want a Bleach game to pop off and be something amazing. But honestly, I know if they make a Bleach game, if somebody like CyberConnect 2 or somebody like Spike Chunsoft make it, it could be potentially decent, but it is not gonna be anything too crazy. At the end of the day, it's not gonna be anything that's like outside of the norm for them, and that's the sad part. It's like it's rare to see a anime licensed game do something different, opposed to anime games that tend to do something different every few years and just switch it up because the formula that they were using was getting old, and they were listening to their fans instead of actually thinking they know better than their fans, and just continue to do what they do. So that's really all I gotta say for today's video. Just let me know, what do you feel about anime games versus anime licensed games in the comment section down below. Do you think that anime games are better or anime licensed games are better? And just let me know in the comment section down below. Peace.